Alright, hello and welcome to the round 3 of the Praga World Tour here at Letpo Racing. By God, do we have some amazing race for you today. Especially since it looks like we may even break the record for the amount of drivers from round 2. By God, do we have an amazing... That is if everyone turns up. But so far, so good. 22 drivers. 21 discounting myself. And let me just double check that, fact checking myself. Yes, that is indeed. That is just 21 drivers so far, and we've only just started the server. We're still waiting for a few more drivers to turn up, but we are at PGO Circuit, a fictional circuit. Let me just quickly put the streamer mode back on. A PGO Circuit, fictional circuit made by none other than Double Zero, a fantastic mod creator here in Assetto Corsa. I hope that the audio settings are just fine. Speaking of audio settings, I might need to turn them down so I can hear myself speak. Wonderful, there we go. So, PGO Circuit, 21 drivers. We're doing the national layout, so we are going to have a sub 1 minute lap time here in the desert. And this leg of the tour will be our African tour, seeing as it's a fictional circuit, does not have a real world location. So it will be our African tour, and it's set in the desert. Hey Habibo, welcome to the party. Everything's good. You got placed in the server. Hope to see you soon, and enjoy your first race, which over 21 drivers, 22 drivers. On the sub-minute lap time is going to be crazy. I am joined here today by my co-commentator David Cook. Missed last round. A wonderful, absolutely wonderful commentator. We love him having here. He's currently doing his stream intro. So once he is done introducing his stream, which we will also like to link in the chat if you would like to see a alternative view, I will post it in the chat. So go give Dave a follow. He deserves it. He's an amazing commentator. But yeah, what is the situation thus far here at Letpo Racing? Well, let's have a run through the league standings. So league standings. So we are currently having Victor Bernat in first place, leading the championship by 12 points from Johan Karolczak. However, this could be the round where the championship turns on its head. Victor is not been very happy about his own performance here at PGO in Letpo Racing. And actually, it's the Plus Ultra Team Automobilismo of Juan and Iker, P3, P4 in the standings, that have been dominating on the practice times. And that is the top 4, but so, like I said, it could turn out on its head. Anyway, let's go down to the championship order. P5, we have Danny Tutu with Cyanide Racing. Scott Sovic, last race 2 winner in round 2. A new driver up on top's podium, Scott Sovic in P6. 4 points behind Danny Tutu, with Ben Rushforth a respectable P7 with 26 points. So Ben Rushforth is doing quite well in this championship thus far. P8 we got Quanti representing our own Letpo Racing. So well done Quanti for being P8 amongst some of the fast drivers here. Fabian Gertner with her debut last race on 19 points, being unfortunately demoted from P2 to P3 following the incident reports. We have Simas Ruplanas, the first of the Lithuanian representatives, 17 points, P10. Michał Szydlecki, P11. Tom Harding, P12. P13, Melnikov. 14, we got Tausfidas, who unfortunately is missing today. He was unable to race today for reasons I can't remember, but he will unfortunately be missing. Mateusz Breitmeier with P15. P16, we got Letelier from Mugen Up Garage. Mugen Up Garage will have quite a sizable grid today. They have hired on a hiring spree today, which is a 5-car team. Oh, we got a little bit of contact between Breitmeier and Cyanide Academy. Then we have Arno Ferrer was running so well last race, running up in P8, in top 5 even at some point, maybe top 6. So Arno Ferrer got some pace. If he can nail down the consistency, he can be a confident point scorer even on 25 plus car grids. Edward Tapman is P20, returning after last round absence with a new livery today. Gilvinas Laugaudas, Juniper Baker and Marko Stajic. Unfortunately, Marko will be missing due to hardware problems. Computer exploded, or laptop exploded as he said, and unfortunately was not able to fix it. So hello Marco, if you're in the stream, you will be missed today in the race. Let's do some final announcing on social media, because we got a lot of social media. Got to present yourself, get more of those drivers in. Well, ACTV started more or less working. I'm just having it for the practice, so then I can have substanding, which to be fair, I still prefer substanding. Gives you so much more information in a much more concise manner. However, I would like at some point to have my own leaderboards, kind of like Project Endurance have. Maybe one day we will reach the level that Project Endurance does the streams, because by God, yeah, it does make incidents following easier, as we see Ben Rushforth, like now. And there was a little contact between Arno and Luca Casal, I believe. Yeah, just like that. It just makes so much nicer. Race tower gaps, intervals. There we go, that should be. I forgot the key binding, but hello, 12 viewers. Hello everyone, we are just in practice mode. Let's quickly switch to substandings. By God, do we have a lot of drivers to get through. Do we have every single driver on here? 24 drivers, if Dave hasn't come on the server just yet. And I don't think he has. So we have 24 drivers. What a turnout. This is phenomenal to see, and it could be quite chaotic considering sub 1 minute and the first 24 grid is on a sub 1 minute racetrack. So let's see what the drivers can do. We already see benchmarks being set with a Victor Bernard 59.2, followed by, just behind him within a tenth, is Juan and Johan. Yeah, check the live timings. To be fair, we should just have the live timings. Anyone should be able to check. It would be nice actually to just have it somewhere. Yeah, I might be able to, although to be fair, that's for next time. I am so yeah, HTML is not my forte. Coding is things I stay away from. So, what is the current situation out on the practice? I will remind you, this is just the practice lap times, so far from representative. We have P4 to P10 within half a second of one another, with Fabian Gertner looking to make another podium visit, maybe even a top step today. Being P5, well, same as a very close P6 now, with being pipped by Luca Casal and Ike Maraver. The two favourites. The two favourites for race win, according to myself, and only my opinion matters, as we all know. This is a dictatorship. And unfortunately, democracy in Let Pro Racing overrides dictatorship here. Regardless, Ike Maraver and Juan Gramash the favourites from the practice service, with Johan as well. And it remains to see whether Victor Bernard is, if that's his optimum lap time that he can achieve. Because I know the three behind him are able to get down to 58. And indeed, 24 drivers. Incredible, incredible sight. So, let's see as well if my bots are working, and I don't think they are, because Streamlabs is a pain in the ass. The timer should be running right now. interval. So yeah, should be running. Unfortunately, it's not. So anyway, I will do that myself. Let's do a little bit of advertising right now. So 3.5 minutes left. We have 5 drivers within a tenth of one another. Danny Tutui is bringing the heat, as they would say, 4th, 10th behind his teammate. So there could be some very, very spicy battles this time around. Quickly checking live timings. Oh good, oh good. No complaints thus far. I'm gonna choose them. No drivers complaining? No. Awesome, every driver so far satisfied. So, let me ask you in the chat, who is new in the chat? Who hasn't seen a Let Pro Racing race so far or hasn't seen the previous 2? And those of you that have seen the previous races of Let Pro Racing, I would like to know your opinion of what you guys think will happen in today's race. My money today, as we see my co-commentator joining the race thus far. So therefore make sure to check him out. The link has been posted up in the chat. Give him a follow. He's a great guy. And a great commentator. Love having him on the co-commentator with myself. But to you, the audience, lovely audience, what do you think is going to happen? My money is it will be a 2-way battle between Ike and Juan, and Johan is gonna nip his nose in there as well. Juan numero uno. Oh, and hello, my co-commentator joined in. I was just discussing with the wonderful audience that we have what they think is going to happen in today's race.
Ooh, so I have a prediction that we might see Scott Suvik cause another upset, because I know that he won race 2 of the last round, so that would be one to keep an eye on, I would think, as apparently I can't seem to get things in order on my end. Just give me a moment, I'm having technical issues.
No worries.
As one always does. There we go, and there we go, fixed.
My prediction is it's going to be a domination by Plus Ultra Team Automobilismo of Iker and Juan. I have a feeling that the championship might turn on its head and Johan will close the gap to Victor Bernard in the standings. But now, now that I've said it, I've cursed him, and the complete opposite is going to happen.
Well, the thing is as well, we're just looking at Johan as well. It's, well, obviously free practice with only 33 seconds left. This is kind of like, we don't always take these too seriously, but I just kind of want to talk about the track a little bit as well, because I was mentioning earlier on that this is a fictional track only available in Assetto Corsa, as far as I know. And we're using the national layout, am I correct in saying that?
Indeed, you are correct. We use the national layout, producing a sub 1 minute lap times.
Yeah, so think of it like Silverstone and the BTCC. They always kind of default to the national layout, and it's going to be a bit like that, but the track layout is completely different, promise you that. And, well, it should be a case for exciting racing, but yes, Iker Mariva will probably end the practice session on top of this rate. I'm just following Johan as we speak. I've given you a shout out on stream, by the way, and I'll just go to yours.
And likewise, I have posted the link to your stream. It's one of the first things I think I did, and I sent people to give you a follow, because you definitely deserve it.
Thank you very much. It is actually just kind of a little side note that I didn't mention on my stream last time. It actually is my affiliate anniversary, which I cannot believe. So just want to say a quick sentimental thank you to those that have been here before all of this and those that are here right now. So thank you all so much for getting me here, and thank you for a wonderful, I think about 2 years now I've been going on as affiliate, which is crazy to think about. Also, just to kind of bring things back on topic a little, I just want to say Luca Casala is actually competitive. I know that might be a bit rude to say, but usually he's kind of in and around the back of the field, and like, it's nice to actually see that he's got a bit of pace. So keep an eye out for this. Now, Mateusz, I didn't tell you this beforehand, but I've got a bit of history with this track.
Have you?
I certainly do. So this was back when BPR actually ran this in their Formula 3 series,
Oh,
which we all now know and love, is OTL, which of course run endurance championships, and they also recently ran the Porsche Cup and finished that off as well. Great show there by one of the drivers in here as well. I think it. Anyway, I'll come around to that later. But basically, what happened was I was approaching a spinning car, right, and then there was just a bunch of smoke. So I thought the car was at the edge of where the smoke sort of ended. So what I did is I went straight into the smoke, and then I somersaulted out of bounds.
That's wonderful. What an amazing. To be fair, the BP RS3, I think I remember racing in that race as well. It was, I think, one of the first series that BPR, the former OTO name, have hosted. I think if not, it was the first series that they have hosted.
Yes, it was, I think. And I think it was well, it would certainly ended on their last, because their last race was round the Nürburgring GP, which I, of course, had the pleasure of commentating on with the man, the myth, the legend, Ven himself. Actually, highlights of that are on my YouTube as well. But that's, of course, something completely different. If you want to check that out, I'll give you a link if you're asking my chat. But coming on to this, as we predicted, Iko Mariva actually comes across on top, but not by much. It's only just under 2/10. And then you got Victor Bernat, who, well, not really much of a surprise there. And then, of course, as you said, Juan Gramage is also there, followed by Siju and Johan Karljak. So Johan, we'll see what he turns up in qualifying. We won't take free practice too seriously. But I think a driver to watch out for on this one for the midfield is Luca Casala. So hopefully he can come out of the woodwork and get a surprising result and might even find something in race 2.
Indeed, and considering there's twice the amount of drivers that are eligible for points, there could be quite an upset up and down. There are certainly a fair number of new drivers that we absolutely have no idea what the potential is. Point in case will be John Nikolai Doll, I believe. If I can get that, hang on, I need to turn autocam off.
And there you go. Oh, yes, there you go. Here's Habibo. Can I just say his livery is absolutely amazing. I think that is my favourite livery as of right now.
Can you believe that's his first livery made?
How is he that good?
Well, how is it that good? He had an excellent teacher by yours truly.
Right, I need you to teach me how to make liveries as my voice cracks on me there. But I also need help with liveries. I want to start creating one. So I might need to ask for... Oh!
Okay. We already have an interesting incident in the good old Outlaps.
Yeah, I want to say as well, like, considering you were just talking about how there's double the amount of cars here today, the pit exit was swarming with cars just trying to make space for each other. And in a weird way, Ben Rushworth is right behind Marcus Arnstad. And yeah, there's not a lot of space to be going out there. So to get a representative flying lap in, you're just going to have to pray and hope.
Oh, definitely, considering you only have 10 minutes, 24 cars, 1 minute lap time. So on average, so what is that? That's like just a car every 2.5 seconds that you would encounter on average? If everyone's out on track?
Your maths is better than mine. Your maths is way better than mine.
Well, my math is, at the moment, after like the few doses of paracetamol, so...
Ouch! Jesus Christ.
Being ill is not fun. I can guarantee you that much.
No, unfortunately, my parents have been ill for like a few weeks now, so it's like, oh my god, does this go away? But I got lucky. But anyway, Johan goes with the first representative time into the 59s with a 59.390 quantity. Then, just above that with a minute, and there you go. The times are just flicking in thick and fast. So we'll just let those kind of settle in, and I imagine that's what it's going to be throughout the whole session. People are going to be up and down the tower as we're speaking, and Bernat has already made a mistake, and John 21 is involved. Yeah, Victor Bernat just span at corner 1, so that was kind of the end of his run from there. But with 7.5 minutes to go, he should be okay to go out and try and go faster again. But like, I don't expect there to be much difference. It's going to be really close. I can't tell you which way this is going to go.
Johan has made a mistake into the national layout catway. He's lost already 6 times on this lap, so That is his lap over. He will have to start again. Let me go quickly switch to live timings and see who is.
Can I just say, we discussed this in round 1, but Anno and Arno are sharing the same piece of information on the timing tower. So good luck with that if you are trying to read that quickly.
Indeed, as we see Danny Tatsui making his way to P1 by 2,000 of a second, and Quanti into turn 1 just spins, loops the car around. That's not very helpful to your lap time, as Juan starts his flying lap time once again.
Yep. Actually, so I've got to tell you, did Danny Tatui tell you about his little adventure last night?
No, I don't think he has told me anything about any adventures.
Well, okay, so Danny Tatui came into my chat because I was doing some commentary for another game yesterday. And then what happened is because he also plays Sad Game, but he doesn't play it as much as Assetto Corsa, he actually joined in midway and actually had a race with some of the other folks. His pace was really good, but his consistency wasn't quite there, just simply because he wasn't used to the game. So he did quite a good job, all things considered. So
that's
I would
good
say,
to hear. As Johan Karocha goes off almost into 58 seconds. With a 59.068, as Juan says, the fastest last sector, but loses a lot of time in the middle sector by 1.6 tenths.
Luca jumps his way up into 5th position as well.
Yeah, good effort by Luca there, within half a second. And Fabian Gertner, I feel like there's going to be a battle between Luca Casal and Fabian Gertner today.
Fabian Gertner, just to kind of give a bit of backstory on them. So they were actually racing in the OTL Porsche Cup finale. I believe it was with, if I remember off the top of my head, as Fabian goes for the sausage curbs there and gives a nice little bounce. Pretending it's BTCC, it's all well and good, but as you explained in round 1, these are not BTCC cars, are not really designed for that kind of racing. But they were having a good battle. I think it was with first. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. I would need to look into that. But unfortunately, with the Porsche Cups as they are in that league, they were very inconsistent. So unfortunately, there was a lot of crashing in that. Unfortunately, it's kind of got out of my head who came out on top, but Fabian was certainly up there.
Indeed, she was rapid in round 2 and almost got Scott on the line. However, even if she did, she had a 5-second penalty for collision with Quanti. But she did give Scott a run for his money. And mistake here and there just costed that P1 on track.
Now, Karoljak just went on top, I think, as well, 59.0. Or has that been that for a while and I'm just stupid?
Yeah, that's been that for a while, but it was Juan Gramage who's jumped his teammate Iker and got himself within a tenth of Johan. He has quite a lot to do. He matches him in the middle sector, but lost a tenth in the first sector.
I'm actually riding in the cockpit of Habiba right now, who is, of course, yet to set a representative time. He's at the moment a 1 minute 50.167. He is actually streaming his perspective as well, and he just goes off track limits. What are the track limits like around here as well? Is it? Sorry, go on.
It's the track limits. It's a 0-0 track, so actually the track limits are pretty good around the track. Track limits, as with every single track in Let Pro Racing, white line plus the curbs. The reason we use the curbs is because it gives just the drivers a little bit more width and a little bit more racetrack to fight in, and usually leads to a little bit of a more exciting race, especially with on-track actions.
Oh, Habibo there. I was just riding with there. Unfortunately, he impeded one of the cyanide cars. So unfortunately, I think it was Victor Bernax. Now he's trotted off into the pits, or it could have been Sidger as well, so it could have been any of those two drivers. I just didn't quite have the view there, but Habibo is struggling with this car. Is this his first race here, or is it second?
That is his first race here indeed.
Right, so he's struggling with the car as it stands right now. We'll see if he improves over the session, but with 2.5 minutes to go, he's going to have to find something and find something.
Ooh, there's a little bit of a kerfuffle in turn 1 between Victor Bernard and Michał Siedlecki.
Yes, I saw that as well. But anyway, I just kind of want to bring this back to what's going on in the standings right now. So under 0.04 of a second is the difference between pole position and second place, which is very exciting to see as Ben Rushworth has made a mistake somewhere. He goes off into the pits. So it's all to play for right now. Gramage, Victor, and Mariva. Can they find something, or will Danny Tatui find something as well? 1 minute 56 to go now, under 2 minutes. Not a lot of time left.
Not a lot of time left, but it is going to be a battle between, so far it's the battle P1, P3, Johan, Victor and Gramage. There is still 2/10 of time that can be gained by anyone. At the very least, 58.8 is the fastest that we have seen throughout the week on the practice server. As I say, as Ike Marave goes for the fastest final sector, puts himself within 1/10 of Johan Karolczak. So there is fight between all of them still on the table.
And you know what? That's great to see. We've seemed to have found the perfect track car combination. So Lead4 Racing, you have to definitely, I think, takes Series of the Year as it stands right now. This is some great stuff, at least in Assetto Corsa anyway. I can't speak for other games, but in Assetto Corsa, there seems to be something that you found which has put the track and car combo together, and it's producing some great racing. So, you know, hats off to all of you. You've done a fantastic job here.
Thank you, sir.
And like, you know, look at how close it is. Great job here.
Thank you so much.
This is going to be exciting.
We do always our foremost. I wouldn't say series.
Oh!
Victor Bernard goes fastest overall, and as I was saying, I'm not sure about these series organizers of the year. It would, as nice as it would be, but there are so many series which do things a little bit better than us. But credit where credit is due to the admin team, Ike Marave, Juan Gramage, Sarah Mulfetova. They have done a fantastic job keeping this community together and growing this community. It's just been wonderful, wonderful to see.
I'm sorry, I'm actually having a heart attack here because I'm watching Habibo. Oh no, that's Johan off, and he's not going to improve, and he doesn't get across the line. Oh, that is unfortunate. So Johan will have to settle for second as it stands right now, but we've got to keep an eye on the track. I'm going to watch Gramage. You can watch somebody else.
I'm
but at the
currently
moment,
watching Ike Marave as he goes through the final sector. He's the 10th down. I don't think he will be battling for pole unless he pulls a magical final sector.
There you go. So Victor Bernat is currently, as it stands, your pole position sitter. Let's see, Arnstad is the only one who could do anything, but I don't think he's on a flyer. At least not from what I'm seeing anyway. I don't have the live timing up right now. Maybe I should do that. And here we go. He's just coming across the final couple of corners now. Let's see what his time is as he crosses the line. It is no improvement at all, so he's going to end it like that. Ben Rushworth might be on the lap, I think. I don't know. My live timing isn't quite up to date. If you could perhaps fill me in on that.
Ooh, Edward Tapman goes into 9th place. An excellent effort by the young Brit driver.
I think I've been getting two drivers mixed up because Ben Rushworth has a similar livery there, so I do apologise to Habibo if I've talked him down a little too much. Ben Rushworth and Habibo sharing very similar liveries, so I think that is my bad on there. Ben Rushworth actually just pulls it into the pits. Anyway, so there you go. So that is Victor Bernat on pole position as it stands right now. And actually, the two cars who sat 1 and 2 are actually lining up on one of the S sections of the track, just having a bit of fun. They might be practicing starts.
Indeed. And just on the topic, thank you. That's, to be fair, I think one of our strengths is we managed to attract the drivers of amazing caliber. Like the drivers that we have in our series, I'm proud of every single one of them. They prove that racing in sim racing drivers can think, and they can race against one another without doing Forza moments. So every single driver here is phenomenal in terms of being able to drive nice and clean, and I couldn't ask for more, to be honest.
Exactly. But anyway, we have only got about a minute to go till lights out, so I'm going to run through your grid for us right now. As stated earlier, it is Victor Bernat on pole, followed by Johan Karolczak, and then it is Ike Marave. In fact, actually, no cars are on the grid, so cancel that. Just give it a moment. That's cool down, isn't it?
It will be cool down, but we do have the grid set, which is so we have about 2.5 minutes, I think, before the lights go out. So
Yeah.
we have on pole position Victor Bernard. That was an upset. I thought somebody certainly would go into 58.8, and I think some drivers I saw in the chat are being fed up with this layout.
Well, like, as well, it has, like, it's like, as you say, I think the only real issue that the drivers come across is that, there's over, like, what did you say, 24 entries, I think it was?
24 entries indeed for the race.
Yeah, so basically, a lot of drivers, even, I should say, are perhaps meeting, like, for example, who on the pace, who might be just a bit behind the leading group, which is, like, a very close top five, only 2/10 in it. And then they're just meeting them in place and they're getting impeded, and, like, it's no one's fault really. It's just the quirk of the track, if you will. But now we do have a grid, and so we are just going to run through that very quickly. So on pole position, like we have stated earlier, it is Victor Bernat, followed by his championship contender Johan Kolchak. In third place, we have Ika Marova, followed by Grammage. Both plus ultra streams, locking out the second row of the grid, and then we've had a quick disconnect from Johan there, so hopefully he can come back. So fifth place, Danny Tituri there with Siju, Luca Casala with a great qualifying in fifth position, Fabian Gartner in sixth position, then Rup Lenners in seventh, followed by Edward Tutman in eighth as Johan comes back, so that means he is now ninth, and then it's Arnstead in 10th, Harding in 11th, Anno in 12th, Ben Rushworth in 13th, Scharf in 14th, Sovic in 15th, who was race winner in race 2 last time out. What can he do? Sasha Letelier in 16th, Quanti in 17th, John 21 in 18th, and then Brett Meyer 19th, Andrews in 20th, Shidleski in 21st, Arno in 22nd, Nikolai Dole not actually on the grid, and then oh wait, or am I just in the wrong camera angle? Yes, I am. So they are on the grid there in 24th and 23rd. But anyway, we're about to go for lights out, and we have all 6 red lights on the screen. We are racing at PGO, and it's a good start there from Victor Bernat, but Johan Karolczak is under pressure from the Plus Ultra car behind him of Ika Marova, and I think they get through scot-free. For now, it's Bernat on the outside there, going through turn number 1, and there's a bit of shuffling there in the background, but at the moment it seems to be that Bernat remains on top for the time being. Lots of cars swapping positions, though, in the background.
Yeah, Johan, what we've seen the first 2 rounds, struggles a lot getting off the line. He hasn't got the hang of launching this car perfectly, so that a lot of times Johan loses off the line, but can make it up later in the race.
Oh, there's already a spin there in the background.
We have.
And that is,
I believe that's John with Mugen up garage has just spun and took a big hit into the Tepco barriers.
Wow, so there you go. Bad start for John there. He finds himself all the way down in 24th, but look at that.
We have another driver in the wall. I believe that's another up guy. No, that's Edward Tapman. After a fantastic qualifying, he has fallen down a little bit. Looked like a little bit of a wheel lockup that just sent him spinning into the barrier on the side.
He has continued on, though, so we won't see the end of him just yet. And with his pace, he might not even be finishing. Oh, there was contact! Contact there, that was Scharf. I think he was just trying to just kind of make his line clear, and then he was turned in on. But again, I'm not a steward, so I'm not going to have the final say on that. But as it stands right now, Victor Bernat has made 6/10 on Johan Karolczak, and Karolczak is currently 12 points behind Victor Bernat, so this is not going to be a pleasant sight for him. And he also has the Plus Ultra team, and this will be making Cyanide happy because, of course, Cyanide and Plus Ultra are locked in a very tight constructors battle as it stands right now. And now Victor Bernat has increased that gap to over a second, so he is running away with this race as it stands right now.
As it stands right now, we do have battling up and down the field.
Oh no, I'm sorry to cut across you there. There was contact in the background there. That was, I think, between Habibo and Anno Arencrest. So the 2 OTL, let's see, members making contact there. Sorry about that. Continue on.
Yeah, I was about to say we had some quite amazing battling down in the backfield. We had 3 wide, 4 wide going into the national layout. It's just battles up and down and close contact. Well, I say contact, close racing.
Here we go. So Ika Marova there is trying to make a move on second position. There you go. He has the inside coming into this tight left-hander, but it's not enough right now.
No, there's not enough overlap there.
Yeah, no, Johan had the overlap, as you say, and then all of a sudden, Ikamerva has dropped a bit and now finds himself under pressure from Fabian behind there. Juan Garage is also not too far away from this, so, you know, if you try and make an optimistic move, you'll find yourself under pressure from somebody else. So there you go, just, of course, reinforcing the tight nature of the track there.
And we
Victor
see have
Bernat.
4 cars in a gag. We go through the S's, and we have Pavel Spin in the distance as Habibo is pressuring Arno, coming out of the S's into the chicane.
Despite being my favourite livery, we might not see that much of it, but Habibo has done a fantastic job with, of course, a teacher of Mateusz, and he's defending the inside there from John 21. So John 21 trying to make up positions for his spin and trying around the outside there of turn 1. That's always brave stuff. They are still side by side there, and he's got that done. That was not a bad move at all. He had to get on the brakes there, but it hasn't affected him too badly there. What a move into turn 1 that was!
Indeed, as you are spectating that, I was just quickly spectating the top 5 of the cars, but it looks like Johan is falling back quite a bit.
Habibo there actually came right back at John 21, so Habibo is not giving this up yet. So John and Habibo giving us an absolute show, and Arno is currently witnessing all of this at the front of the field. I think he's made a mistake going into the left-hander. I did see a driver locking up, so that might have been one of them. And Habibo is now all of a sudden in an interesting Praga sandwich with Arno and John there. So here we go. What is going to happen? Can Habibo get the advantage going into turn 1? Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it.
Juan Gramage, one of my favourites for the race win, is currently struggling in P5, being pressured by Danny Tutui. So my prediction could just be all completely wrong, and I've given everyone a commentator's curse.
Just going back to the lead battle as well, Victor Bernat did get that gap to over a second, but now that the pressure has eased on Ika Marova, Kawaljak has actually got that gap to 0.8 of a second now. So
we had a disconnect from Badem Habibo. Not sure what happened.
Oh, there was just a bit of a mistake there from Shaft there. Of course, he had contact earlier, and Tutman has spun as well.
Oh, that's unfortunate for the Brit driver. He
was. Casale is spun in the worst area. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Casale, everybody who's been doing so well and you were hoping would do so well, has been having quite a bit of a few interesting moments.
Exactly there, and a bit unfortunate for him. I was hoping for good stuff from Luca Casale. But anyway, yet again, we've kind of cut into and from. It's like, you know, wherever you look around the field, there's a lot of battling. Scott Sovic is currently in 13th as it stands right now. I can't wait to see how the reverse grid order looks after this.
Indeed. Oh, we had a little bit of an issue from Johan, I think, because Johan has dropped behind Ike Marve quite substantially.
Yep, that is now 2.1 seconds to the leader, 0.7 to second place. So yeah, I didn't catch what happened there. Apologies to everybody watching there, but as you say, yeah, Johan has dropped back significantly and sets a 1 minute 0.7, and that's over a second off the pace there to Victor Bernat. So bit of consistency being the issue there with Johan, and we even saw it in race number 2. Where he got involved in a lot of contact as well, and then had that famous off, which recreated Murray Walker's famous "I'm going for first," says John Cleland. And then that ended in absolute disaster for him. But still in third right now, so it's not over just yet. 13 minutes still to go. He could still claw that back up.
Not over till it's over, as they say. But so yeah, there could be some clawing back to do. Either Victor has found the flow with this track, or the chasing drivers, the ones that usually were above him in the timings, have just lost their mojo for a reason or another. So it can definitely, there's still 13 minutes left. That would be about 14 laps. So anything can happen in those 14 laps. And well, what can I say? There's always race 2 for everything to go tits up.
Yes, so at the moment, yeah, still a lot of the race to go and still a lot of drivers. Now, I'm actually kind of hoping for Danny Tatui just to try and get up to the top 5, because he had, like I said before, he had an absolute great race on the league I commentated on, but unfortunately just consistency let him down.
Oh, there's contact between Scott Silver and Quanti into turn 1, and even more kerfuffle going on. This will be very... Oh, and Fabian, as Juan Gramage goes on the offensive against Fabian Gertner, can she fight back into the national layout? No, she cannot, unfortunately. If Juan gets far enough already.
Yeah, something I'm actually noticing with the cars, and as Rapliners now makes a mistake, I can't quite catch where that is due to the awkward camera angle I've got. I'd have to predict it's in one of the S sections
It
of the
would
track.
be in the national layout
And
little connection.
yeah, and I just went below the track there with my spectator cam, so that was an interesting experience. But anyway, we'll cut back to the third place car. Now, I just actually... Oh, wait, Sidu is trying to make a place on Fabian here. So Sidu is trying to look down the outside of turn number 1. We have seen that work, but he wasn't alongside enough to get past. So Sidu is currently tailing the back of Fabian Garter, saying, hey, I'm still here, you know, you're going to have to deal with me. And Danny Tatui is starting to lose touch with fourth and third there, as well as third and fourth, while losing touch with the top two. Maravers managed to create a gap of 1.5 seconds to Johan, but also is 1.5 seconds behind us. We're seeing cars now starting to be lapped. So that was Xander there, starting to be lapped, and traffic is now going to become an issue for the drivers at the front.
Indeed, this is the unique situation that tracks with such short lap times find themselves, is that lap traffic becomes more and more of a decisive factor when it comes to battles. So Victor Bernard can be leading now, but when he gets to Arno, Rashford, John, any of those drivers, anything can happen. Not saying any of those drivers are bad, but even in professional racing league, there is, like real life racing, multi-class, mistakes can happen. A little bit of a lost focus here and there, and then lapped car turns in, or the lapping car gets too impatient and makes a mistake while lapping cars. It's just anything can happen when it comes to.
Oh my goodness me! Oh, I'm sorry about that. There's forgive me for my noises there, but there was just near contact between Fabian and Danny Tatui there. Danny Tatui, I thought, was about to get alongside Fabian, and I thought there was going to be contact, but they actually kept it clean just about. And it just gave me a little scare there. So Danny Tatui is the closest he's ever been to Fabian. He's got the straight line well, he's got the straight line now, at least the start-finish straight, as soon as I get my words in order. And then he'll have the slipstream, but I think Fabian's just got that straight line speed over Danny Tatui. Now they're now approaching the last car of Shaft there. Oh, okay, Shaft does a really good job there of getting out of the way and doesn't become too much of a bother, but Danny Tatui gets a bit of snap oversteer on the exit, so he loses that momentum, and now he's 9/10 behind Fabian, so he's going to have to close that back up again. Tom Harding is also not too far behind that, but only with 4 seconds.
Scott Solving makes a mistake. He was attempting a move on Corey Andrews, but locks up, goes very much deep on the inside, and it's now going to be under attack from Mateusz Breitmeier.
Yes, I was just pointing that out as well, and you saw that before I did, so nice work there on the observation things. Now, I just want to say, we haven't actually talked about tyre strategy too much. Now, there's no... Oh, wait, Danny Tatui's made a mistake, sorry! Oh, no, and that's Tom Harding through into 6th place.
Not only that, there's Marcus Arnstand, one of the new drivers of Praga Cup, pressuring Danny Tatui, and is gonna see if he can exploit the mistake that Danny has done. So this will be interesting, especially if Danny, with 8 minutes remaining, is gonna think, do I sacrifice my race 1 at this point, or do I try and recover as much as possible?
Speaking of sacrificing race 1, the Plus Ultra team have got Johan in a bit of a sandwich here, because Maravo has started to drop off from Victor Bernard over 2 seconds now. So with 8 minutes to go, I mean, anything can happen. But considering how Victor Bernard has been doing in this championship, I just find it a little unlikely he's going to make an error. So now I wonder if the Plus Ultra team are communicating with each other and are actually starting to say, yo, can you just drop back a little bit?
Scott Solving down the inside of Corey Andrews into the fast right-hander before the national double left-hander, and makes the move. Very good move by Scott Solving there. Probably something that Corey Andrews was not expecting.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Scott Solving with a break move there, but Edward Topman has made another mistake there. He's parked it, well, spun round, and he's actually rage quit, so he's not going to take further part in the race. I was just kind of saying, though, as well, so yeah, the Plus Ultra team, I've got Johan in an interesting sandwich there. And I just want to say as well, a couple of the runners are currently on medium compound of tyres. So, for example, you're seeing Scott Sovic run the medium compound of tyres. And the reason why the drivers would do that is because, well, they say, I know I'm going to suffer in the first half of the race. I'm probably not going to go for the win. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of put up with the pain through the first half of the race. And then as the second half, as the tyres begin to drop off for the soft runners, that's when my time to shine will come. And Scott Sovic might have played a blinder there, but he was involved in contact earlier on. So this may not be his final finishing position, as Siju loses another place to Marcus Arnstad here.
Indeed, so there's going to be a battle between these guys for a while. I have a sneaky suspicion as Marcus Armstrong now pressuring such a little year, the second driver of Mugen Up Garage. So we will see how that goes.
Yeah, sorry. Fabienne's made a mistake. Into turn one, she has spun round, and that brings Tom Harding right into contention for 5th position as Scott Sovic makes her way past Letelier here. But there you go, Fabienne has now lost out to 5th place, and that now goes to Tom Harding. And then Arnstead is currently side by side with Danny Tatui. This is exciting stuff there. They nearly make contact, but gave each other just enough room there. Danny Tatui gets 7th place back for the time being, but as they were fighting, they didn't get a chance to catch up to
Fabienne. A little bit of contact.
Shoulder-to-shoulder racing, not bad stuff at all. And there you go, Marcus Arnstead and Dan Tatui having a great fight of it and giving us some great...
Oh, there's a mistake from Fabienne! Fabienne spins it coming out of the national connection road and is going to lose 2 spaces to Danny Tatui and Marcus Arnstad. So what was going to be an amazing race or result for Fabienne Gertner as she was pressuring the top 3 guys is now dropped her down to P8. So... And she's going to be under attack from Scott Solvik, the driver that she was battling in race 2 at Magny Course. So there could still be some very interesting results as Marcus spins it to turn 1.
It's all kind of starting to be the commentator's curse, isn't it? Because Scott Sovic had the momentum going into turn number 1, but he just wasn't quite brave enough. So he must know that he's got time on his hands. There is still 5 minutes to go, so there is enough time. Currently, second, third, and fourth are all separated by a second. So at the moment, Azuka Kasala has made another mistake, and that's going into turn 1 as well. So turn 1 starting to become problematic as these softs begin to wear off.
Indeed, and my driver that I thought was going to do quite poorly, Victor Bernard, is just proving me wrong. He's just been, so far in the Praga Championship, he's just been phenomenal. He's like flawlessly driving these cars, no worries. Even during the worst of incidents that have happened to him in races 2 and races 1, he has just managed to shrug them off and climb his way back to take the fight to his championship rival. And there's not much you can fault Victor Bernard. He's just driving phenomenal, and I'm just trying to give him a commentator's test to flip this championship up on his head.
You are so cruel but so mischievous at the same time. I just want to say as well, Trent Booty, who's of course somebody that also streams, has just wished me a happy affiliate anniversary, so thank you very much, Trent. But anyway, we've got a battle on screen right now, and that's for 7th position. Arnstead leads the way after spinning out and losing touch with Danny Tatui, who is named Siju in this one. Now, of course, just while we have some time and while there's a calm before the storm, because I don't think any of this is over just yet, race number 2 is dictated by a reverse order, and I believe it's the top 12, if I remember correctly.
Indeed, it is the top 12. So at the moment, it will be Corey Andrews on the pole for race 2, with Victor Bernard being flipped to P12.
I just want to say, in the background of all of that, in the back of the field, Doll has dropped a couple of positions, so Anno is now up into 18th position, and as he was Victor Bernard there was trying to make some space, Anno gets out of the way in Benchy, but Victor was slightly impeded by Anno there, and of course now we've got the 2nd place car, and of course Marava is involved in a battle right now for 3rd, and there you go, that's Johan closing right on. Johan will surely have the momentum coming out of the corner. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the start finish straight. Anno has not gotten out of the way yet. He's sorry about this. Marava is going to be really annoyed, and that now brings Johan 2/10 within this battle, and maybe less than that. And now he's going to have the slipstream. Here's 2nd place Marava. How long has he got? We have seen the outside of turn 1 work well as an overtaken opportunity. Marava just darts all the way to the left-hand side of the track, trying to stop him from overtaking, but Johan goes down the outside. Didn't quite make it work, though.
No, Marava just runs him out, gives him just enough room, but shows him, sorry mate, the door is closed, the bar is closed, come back tomorrow at 8 AM or after the siesta hours are over.
That's one way to go about it. I'll give you that for free. With 2.5 minutes to go, as Fabian Gartner makes her way past Marcus Anstead there. Anstead trying to make her way back, but careful, don't bring Sobek into this. Who's that spinning off?
And we seem to have an intruder on the track. I am not sure who Ivan Vaz is, so if we could just remove him if he is driving. Because I'm not sure who Ivan Vaz is, so we have an intruder onto the track. MSG Motorsport. I'm not sure. No, it couldn't be.
We've had our very own Silverstone incident there from, I think it was 2001 or 2002?
Indeed, I am not sure who Ivan is. He's just driving off. He's got the skin of Daniel Taberna, so he is not on the registered list.
Well. What was it Murray Walker said about that imposter on the track, for lack of a better word?
Indeed, the imposter on the track, yeah. I can't remember what he exactly said, but I was talking about how the second and third had closed up as Marcus Arnstead. Now Fabio, there was a lap car trying to get out of the way. It's straight wide. No, it's straight wide into turn one. That's all. Contact.
Oh, there's contact with Fabian, and that spins her out. Wait, no, it doesn't. She's still there. How did she save that?
It wasn't. The contact was quite mild. It understeered the car into, I believe it was Marcus. Marcus then pinballed into Skull, but it was very light touches that it didn't unsettle the car enough, but there's still freeway battle between these different Praga drivers.
Right there, that was brave stuff going into there, considering you have that tight left-hander just going down the hill there. We are now, I think, on the final lap of racing, because I don't think there'll be enough time to do another once Victor comes across the line. But 7th, the battle for 7th is where it's at, and Scott Sovic, Arnstead and Gartner are the ones involved in that battle. They will have one last lap around the track. This is great stuff to watch, as Casale has made another mistake, but don't park it there, my guy. There you go, get the car running and continue on, and he does.
Indeed. There's still 3 of these within less than a second of one another, as Johan has fallen quite the way back from Ike Maraver. Now Johan might be hoping that Victor makes a mistake. I think this might be the last lap, unless Victor can get to the line quick enough, but this could be the last line. It will be seconds.
No, one more lap. He got there just in time. One more lap.
He got there just in time.
Wow, talk about leaving it late and great, but guess what? The battle for third is now opening up as well. Jan Gramage has caught right up to Johan, so Johan's under pressure. There's a lot to look at. We're seeing Ruplinus overtake Quanti, or Quanti overtake Ruplinus, one of the two. Quanti is around the outside there. Lots to look at the moment, and I'm not sure where we want to be.
No, there's battles up and down. Scott Sovic within 2/10 of Marcus Arnstad, and Arnstad is just 8/10 behind Fabian Gertner. So there's still battles up and down. Johan is still under pressure halfway through the final lap. 4/10 being chased by Juan Gramage, the second driver for Plus Ultra Team Automobilismo. Gonna try to scavenge as many points away from Johan as possible. But the one driver they should definitely be scavenging points from is the championship leader, Victor Bernard, who is 1.4 seconds ahead of Ike Marava. Ike just running out of time. He was catching Victor lap by lap towards the end, but just not quick enough, as Victor Bernard takes the win of race 1 with Ike Marve taking home P2.
I'm sorry, we've just had a look up from Marcus Arnstead, and Scott Sobrick is around the inside, just coming through to the last section of track. Fabian will have 7th as long as she has enough fuel to get to the line, and there you go! He did it there! He just forced the mistake from, it was Arnstead there, so unfortunately Arnstead not able to hold on. Oh wait, there's more good things!
Tom Harding makes a mistake! Fabian Gertner goes wide. I believe that's Danny Tutui. No, Danny Tutui. Who else was involved in there? But drivers going wide. Anstar takes P7. Scott Sovic takes P8. Letelier takes P9. Fabian Gertner being downgraded to P10 with Breitmeyer 11 and Corey Andrews P12.
I believe that was Ben Rushworth. Yes, it was. Ben Rushworth started all of that. So he was actually the lapped car in front of all of it. And Fabian Gartner just found herself making contact with Ben, and then that of course meant that that forced Sovic to just play it cautiously, but Arnstead just kept the pedal to the metal and just got past him. He was like, I don't care, there's an instant going ahead, I'm going for it, it's the last lap, what have I got to lose?
Indeed.
I'm not in the championship.
Well, I shall be right back, because, well, all this excitement, break is in order, so I will let you entertain the guests in the meantime. But wow, what a race have
Yeah.
we had! So much incidents and excitement, and well, so far it's the usual runtime of the finishing order. So let's see if race 2 can change that finishing order quite drastically.
Yeah, of course. While he's on break, I just want to say as well, now that we're going to go into race 2, it's the top 12 that get reversed order. So, like Mateus stated earlier, it will be Corey Andrews on pole position starting the race next time we go around. So we're just entering a cool down period where the session will just cool down, and then the drivers get to take a little bit of a break, but then we will go through race number 2 grid order once that's all set up. And Trent Booty puts down in chat, around the outside. I want to see what's going on. Quanti said, I sent somebody into turn 1 on lap 2. I'm so sorry. Oh no. Let's see. So actually, Sarah points out that the server is public, so that's why we had a randomer join on there, and then have our very own Silverstone imposter incident. But now that that's all, hopefully that can be sorted out and won't be an issue going forward. But yeah, no, Quanti actually sent somebody into turn 1, but we didn't witness that incident on my half of the broadcast anyway. But at the very least, we will be definitely seeing some more interesting action in race number 2. And I would say race number 2 is also worth sticking around for, considering what we just witnessed there. Because race 2, when the grid is reversed, anything can happen. I just want to say, especially around a track so small as this one, with only a minute realistically in lap time, it's going to get all bunched up and very, very interesting. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. But now, so in case if anybody has just joined, we just saw Victor Berner absolutely dominate the field again. Mika Marava in second place there, only 1.344 seconds, but that doesn't really represent how that was going overall. I think Victor was just taking it easy just to kind of make sure he got to the line. But there you go. So the soft runners, as we predicted, kind of had to take it a bit cautiously at the end there, because as I was witnessing through that tight left-hander after the long right-hander, I started to see cars suffer from major understeer there, and actually just in some ways go completely off the white lines. Now in this series, the curb also counts as track limits, so in actual fact, most drivers are probably going to be okay. I didn't see anybody go across the curb, and they do that so that the drivers can have a bit more width, but in the end, it's resulting in some great racing, and the track and car combinations have worked out so nicely. Quanti also in the Leadpool Racing chat is saying, I'm going to try running medium. I'm also going to give a quick shout out to Leadpool Racing, because they are also streaming this race. But now we are going to go through the grid one last time, and I think we have a certain someone that has arrived. Hello
Indeed,
there.
I am back, and the break
there.
has been very much needed. So yeah, have just been scrolling through the chat, and it seems like some drivers are complaining about tires overheating. Drivers giving each other tips, running a lower wing, and it seems that Danny has been driving with damage the entire race, as somebody gave him a loft up in opening laps of the race.
Ooh, that's never good. But anyway, we're going to run through your grid very quickly, as this is a reverse order grid. So it's Corey Andrews on pole position, followed by Britt Meyer in second, then Gartner in third, thanks to what happened to her in race 1. Letelier in fourth, Scott Sovic in fifth. Of course, won race 2 last round. Can he repeat Magician's work again? And then it's Danny Tatui in sixth, followed by Tom Harding in seventh, Gramage in eighth, then Karol Jacques, of course, your championship contender in ninth, then Maravan, the Plus Ultra team, of course, involved in their own constructors fight with Cyanide. So that actually moves a couple of people down, thanks to Marcus Arnstead joining in sixth position there. Then we round out the grid with Marava, Bernat, Ruplinas, Sidleski, Quanti, Rushworth, Anno, John 21, Luca Casala. Can he make up some positions as well? Followed by Shah, Habibo, and there you go. That's all 21 drivers. So there you go. Take us into the race.
Right, so we got 6 lights coming out, and all the drivers will make their way towards the one. There's already contact immediately. Oh, there's like massive pile up already. Can we restart the race? I think we may need to restart the race. There's been massive pile up of multiple cars already in the rear. So thank God for that.
Shall we run through the grid one last time?
Sure, yeah, sure. I think everyone's in the same finishing order. At least we now know if we need to restart. Race 2 still works fine, but this has been just amazing. Somebody slow off the line, did not realize, the driver behind did not realize, hammered into the back of them, and just concertina effect of everyone behind them into a massive pileup. That reminds me of the Austria Formula 1 race. I believe it was 1978, where there was a massive 6-8 car pileup, or the was it Misano? I think it was Misano or Tuscany Grand Prix in 2019, 2020. And the
Like that,
famous Spa pileup with back when Schumacher and Häkkinen was racing.
Yes, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I just also want to say as well, in terms of real life racing, just while we've got some time, the Daytona 24 Hours has begun and is just in its first 24 minutes.
Well, wonderful. Do I have something to watch after this race?
Yes, you certainly do. But anyway, we now have a 20-minute race ahead of us.
Even though I'll be streaming Black Ops 3.
Yeah, take us through to the countdown, Mateusz.
Take us through to the countdown once again. 6 lights come on, and hopefully all cars will make through to turn 1 this time. We did last time, we didn't even get to turn 1. 6 lights go out, and all 22 drivers make their way towards turn 1. We lost 2 drivers from race 1 due to poor, for one reason or another. As we see, reverse grid chaos usually ensures in turn 1, but so far so good. Drivers making their way cordially around the opening laps, and everyone is through very nicely. It looks like it's Corey Andrews getting away quite nicely. Fabian Gertner improving herself to second place, followed by Breitmeyer at P3 and Scott Sovic in P4. So far so good.
Spin in the background. Habibo is involved, and John 21 again. Lap 1, not very much at all done. John 21's race is ruined.
As we see Johan trying to muscle his way through the traffic, surrounded by Ike from left, Sacha from the right. And the Sacha's been bonked by Ike, but so far so good. Johan is able to survive the opening round. He has his championship rival ahead of him in the name of Juan Gramage, but his main championship rival is 1 space behind. So Johan will hope to quickly discard everyone that is in front of him, and he hopes that everyone that he discards will make life hell for Victor Bernard.
Unfortunately, just in terms of the constructors' battle, Gramage has not been stopped by Danny Tatui at all. So Gramage has made his way from where he started up into 4th position. That's only taken a couple of laps, you know, and Gartner is not too far away, but neither is Corey Andrews. Corey Andrews not giving up on this so easily yet, and Scott Sovic is also there as well. Now, Quanti actually told us he was running, or they were running even, I should say, the medium tyres, and at the moment Quanti all the way down in 20th position, not making much progress as of right now. But as I stated earlier, you run the mediums, so you'll suffer in the first half, but then bring it all back in the second half. So we'll see how his race unfolds as it goes on. But Sovic as well definitely hasn't changed anything. He feels comfortable on those medium sets of tyres, and he's having a great race too. As it stands right now, he is in 3rd position and chasing Corey Andrews. Fabian has managed to increase the gap to the lead.
As I believe Victor Bernard makes his way on the offensive down the inside of everybody. From P5 to P10, very opportunistic moves. Got the inside on Johan.
There's contact!
There's indeed been contact, and there's more contact behind. That was such a Letelier being thrown right into the Tepco barriers with quite a force. And Victor Bernard has made his way up to P6. The opportunistic Spaniard has done it once again, as Johan Karolczak loses the car slightly into the national layout and is still down in P9. The race is not turning out.
Oh no! Raplinus makes a mistake in that place you don't really want to. Lots of traffic were able to avoid him there, but also Raplinus, Shidleski was actually recovering from a mistake himself, so that must have been a heart attack and a half to have seen that. But anyway, Corey Andrews sets fastest lap of his personal best so far. He goes to the inside there to try and defend from Sovic. Absolutely nothing to it though, and he just gets right past around the outside. That is not bad stuff at all.
No, that was an excellent maneuver to swing back around the outside, so it's Corey the dummy, and just casually drive around. Good car control from Scott, and very well driven.
Corey Andrews, though, coming right back at him, but he's got to remember, he's got Juan Gramage not too far away at all. And there you go, Juan Gramage looking to go down the inside. Corey Andrews early on the brakes and the cars ahead. So Juan Gramage, what it looked like a difficult move was actually made rather easy, thanks to the fact that Corey Andrews did brake that little bit earlier. But now Juan Gramage is on a charge and looking to get Plus Ultra Team some points for the Constructors' Championship, which they are only 2 points behind on as of going into race 1, though, so that will have changed around a little bit.
So we had a message from Sasha that the steering got bugged.
Oh, that's not good. That's not what you want.
No, it's definitely not what you want. And quite a lot of things. I think there might have been some few team orders that have happened in Cyanide Academy, with Danny Tutu letting Victor Bernard by. So Johan Culture has a lot of catching up to do when it comes to this second race.
Yes, Victor Bernat has definitely suffered the most from this race to start. Now, of course, he is looking at the site of the Plus Ultra team. Of course, Cyanide and Plus Ultra, like I said before, only 2 points separated them going into this round. But now Gramage, I think, is about to make his move on Sovic. Now, of course, Gramage is on the softer compound of tyres, so this is probably where his race is probably going to be most effective. So this should be academic, if anything. Scott Sovic still goes to the inside to try and defend, but I don't think he's going to have much choice in the matter. Ika Merava then sets the fastest lap. He is currently in 7th position, and you know what? Scott Sovic doesn't do a bad job of defending. Nice one.
No, indeed. He has the inside line for the first SS, the outside line for the second, but this outside line is where you want, because you will gain more speed through those S's, and Juan again is forced to go behind, slot in behind Scott Sovic, the race 2 winner at Magny-Cours, and he's doing quite a good job so far as Victor Bernard dispatching Corey Andrews.
There you go. So now our usual contenders for the win are starting to make themselves apparent, but Scott Sovic is basically handing Fabian the win as it stands right now with 14 minutes. That gap increases the more these battle, and guess what? Victor Bernat is just there now. So now Gramage, who was looking comfortable and looking like he was getting through the field at great pace, all of a sudden his progress has been faulted by a stubborn Norwegian driver. So at the moment, great stuff from Sovic, giving us some exciting action here on track.
Indeed, there is some exciting action.
Oh, here we go! Here we go, he does a Max Verstappen type lunge, but guess what? Scott Sovic also has that covered. Incredible stuff!
Yeah, there is some incredible stuff going off, and Juan will try and improve himself as much as possible, especially since the main championship rival Victor is right behind him. He wants to get past Scott as much as possible. Ideally, in ideal world, he would just breeze on by Scott, and Scott will just put up such a stubborn defense as Juan goes down the inside. There's contact, more driver contact. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong for Juan Gramage. Juan Gramage will be feeling sore, very sore after this. He will also feel the wrath of many drivers behind him.
I'm so sorry I was talking over you so much, but it's all starting to kick off there at that corner. Unfortunately, there was just a bit of a dive there by, I believe it was...
It was Juan diving down the inside of Scott Solvik, just overcooked it, ran into the side of the Norwegian driver, just allowed Victor to go on by. Johan may not be too bad about it, as he gained quite a few positions himself, but he would have preferred Scott to be in front of Victor and Victor to be tangled in that mess as well.
Of course, yes, he would have, but now I just want to say as well, Johan has been allowed to rise up out of the woodwork because he's now in 4th position, but he's got 4 seconds thanks to all of which kicked off. Now finds himself 4 seconds behind Sovic. Now, of course, there is 12 minutes to go, so this isn't all over just yet. But Victor Bernat will be on a charge for Fabian, and Fabian's going to have a difficult time keeping him, Bernat, behind, because Victor Bernat has shown incredible pace throughout the championship. There's still just under 12 minutes to go, so this isn't over yet. We'll keep an eye on that battle for the lead for sure.
No.
As Shedleski makes another mistake.
Last race, Victor was able to make up a second lap in the final laps in Magny-Cours once he was allowed to breathe in fresh air, so Fabien might pray that Victor cooked his tires in any incidents. I was just checking the car of Johan Karolczyk, and it doesn't seem like he has sustained any damage. from the incident that has occurred in front of him, and he has in fact set the fastest lap of the race.
Well, there you go then. So Johan hasn't been affected too badly, but there was a ton of cars involved in the collision there that we saw earlier on. And like, I don't know if you were here when I explained this, but oh no! As soon as I say that, John 21 and Shedleski. Well, Raplinity, but I'm sorry, no, we got that wrong. It was Raplinity trying to go down the inside, and unfortunately, he just wasn't afforded the space, and he was spun round, and he finds himself down in 17th now. And Gramage makes it. Oh no! It's Sidhu again. Has gone. I think they had a bit of drama yet again, and we're starting to see drivers drop down the order as well. But wait, Ben Rushworth now in 6th position. Where's Brett Meyer in all of this? What? Okay, it's just trying to catch up. That's all. There's so much going on. The timing tower has glitched out. That's all it was. Apologies there.
No, it's all fine and dandy, and it seems like I'm just looking at the lap times, and Fabian is doing just enough to be able to maintain the lead over Victor. Victor not doing just enough to be able to improve on his personal best, or in fact the race so far, which is so far playing into the hands of Johan Karolczak.
It really is as well, but Johan Karolczak, remember, has got pressure from Ika Mareva behind. And also, Danny Tatui, you might have mentioned this just now, but he's currently down in 15th position, so the race has gone all sorts of wrong. And now, with the tyres as they are for Danny Tatui, all that around him are medium runners, so he is going to really struggle to make any significant progress in this race now with so little time remaining and no obligatory pit stop, of course. Now, Mareva has actually got a good run here on Johan. Mareva literally looking to the inside there, hoping he would be given a bit of room, but had to cut to the outside there. And it was all defended quite nicely by Johan, and they'll continue on. But Sovic must be really happy right now. He is still in 3rd position and hasn't lost too much time. And those medium tyres are probably going to start to come into their prime right now, but especially in a couple of minutes' time where the soft runners will begin to struggle as the race comes to its conclusion. And Tom Harding has made an error going into turn 1. He reverses out of the way, and it will continue on. So Danny Tatui there makes up 1 position at the very least.
Indeed, Juan Gramage attacking on Corey Andrews. It seems like he has made his way past earlier. Corey Andrews is going to try and maybe fight back, but the race has just gone bad towards for Juan as it currently stands.
It certainly has. At the moment, Casale that makes a mistake going into turn 1, so now turn 1 is becoming an issue for the drivers. But yeah, no, Juan Gramage, as you say, involved in a battle with Corey Andrews as we speak. But yeah, here we go. There's Iko Mareva trying to go down the inside there, but just didn't quite have the room to try it. Now, Victor Bernat as well, with 8 minutes to go, has got 4 seconds between him and Fabian. Fabian and Victor both on the softer compound of tyres, so they're going to both be suffering. So it's about who's kept the tyres alive as it stands right now. But Scott Sovic's been caught, but as I'm saying that, Johan is now under pressure. Mareva has placed his car perfectly, but it's not enough still. Incredible racing from these two, though, and providing some entertainment.
Victor Bernat is getting into his own element. He is improving on his personal best. He set personal best on the last lap. He's improved. Fabian Gärtner is just losing time and time throughout all of these sectors. Victor has caught up by 0.6 of a second on the final lap. So Fabian needs to get her head down and really focus on the lines and the drive if she wants to maintain that lead over the fast charging Spaniard.
I just want to say as well, what was 24 has now become 19. Kazuka Kasala is your most recent DNF, and Corey Andrews is in battle with Juan Gramage as well. But Corey Andrews is actually putting up a great defense against him at the moment and remains 8th for the time being. He actually got back past Juan Gramage there, as you were just off on explaining what you need to say. But here we go now. We're going to cut back to 3rd place because Scott Sovic has made a mistake there. Surprising considering he's on what should be the better compound of tyres at this stage of the race, so maybe he's not kept those tyres alive and has pushed too hard, and now his tyres are just about
Juan's
gone.
got it all wrong again, going into the national layout, goes extremely wide, opens himself to an attack from Marcus Arnstad behind him.
damn, he is really struggling there, so something has happened. But there you go, Scott Sovek and Johan do battle. Johan has got past, didn't need the corner there. Marova trying to go down the inside there. Does Scott Sovek have a defense for that? Will he lose 2 positions? Not at the moment. He's still side by side with Marova. Johan has just gone from this battle. There's contact there, just light contact there. Nothing too dramatic as it stands right now, but there you go. I think that has allowed Marova past. It was a bit of a barge, but like nothing too dramatic. I don't think that'll be looked into any further, to be honest with you.
No, not unless it's reported.
Not unless it's reported. So there you go. I don't think anything will come of that regardless, though. But Scott Sovek has gone from 3rd to 5th, but not too surprising considering the drivers that were behind him. And Victor Bernat, right now, I think Fabian
There's contact between Tom and John once again. Tom is said spinning, self-inflicted by Tom, I must say, watching from the outside. And let's see if Tom recovers. The Trooper will carry on driving, so good on Tom there.
There you go, yeah, so he's continued driving, and there you go, he's flashed actually by Nikolai Dahl there, as John 21 now trying to make, well, Anno, I think that was Anno making a move on John there. So Anno has kind of been quiet this race. I haven't seen much of him, just simply because of where he is. But they're having a fight. And no, Tom Harding and Raplinus have now made contact, and Raplinus is down the escape road.
So
and
Tom
there you go, he's got you. And talk about a commentator's curse there.
Yeah, talk about commentator's curse, and it seems that it was Raplinus going out for a drive through the escape road. So let's see where he emerges on the track once again. So let's see if the timings have hopefully said yes, he's still on this lap and not missed the checkpoint.
And there we go. So Anno even has gotten past John 21 there, and he'll continue on to try and catch Shidleski. But Anno hasn't had the pace in these Pragas for some reason, and has ultimately struggled. And Shidleski and Danny Tui are currently in 12th. That's 1 point, if I'm not mistaken.
That is indeed the final points-paying position. So let's see if Danny Tui can keep up with it, or if the damage he's carrying from the kerfuffle that Juan has created might be too much for him to carry on.
I just want to say Juan Gamage got back past Corey Andrews there as Ben Rushworth makes a move on Brett Meyer there. This is for 6th position as it stands right now. Brett Meyer losing out to Ben there. So Ben actually having a great race too, and I think has had a consistent weekend, to be honest with you, bar what happened in race 1. So race 2 going a lot better for him. But he is currently under pressure from Brett Meyer as it stands right now. I just want to bring attention as well that Corey Andrews is putting Gramage back under pressure. So the kind of like one team, right? So in the Constructors' Championship of Cyanide and Plus Ultra, one of the teammates has suffered. So it's really going to be about whoever the leading driver is at the end of this race. That's where the points will come from, I imagine. But Corey Andrews is trying his best to interrupt Juan Gramage's charge through the field. Well, with what little time there is remaining. And you know what? I don't think Victor Bernat has got enough in the tank, or at least enough time anyway, to catch up to Gartner and make the overtake stick. You know, there's 3 minutes left, and there's 2.6 seconds, and that gap has not gone down at a rate I would say would be enough to catch up.
No, at the moment Fabienne managed to get her head down and is doing just enough to, if the trajectory carries on, keep the first place ahead of Victor Bernat. And unfortunately for Johan Karolczak, Johan is not doing enough to catch Victor at any reasonable pace. So his fight at the moment will be with Ike Marve and keep himself clean and hope that Victor has gone over the line quite a few times, enough to incur the wrath of the track limit gods.
As it stands right now, Victor Bernat flashes his lights. He knows he's in a race for first position. In actual fact, I just want to say that gap went down from over 2 seconds to 1.8, so maybe this isn't over just yet, but that was very brief. And there we go. So he gets past the lap traffic without much of a problem. 2.1 seconds, only about 2 or 3 laps to go.
Yeah, I would say about 3 laps to go, so Victor will have to catch at a rate of 0.8 at 0.8 a lap. And so far, Ruplanus is going on an exploratory drive, as I can see on live timings. His little triangle is currently somewhere completely different.
He's actually gone on to the international layout.
Ah, so he's taking his own race somewhere else.
It's actually quite funny to look at because the track is completely closed off, but he's just right there and then. But anyway,
if you're on the live timers, take a look at live timers because he's currently driving over Ike's best lap time.
Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to get it back up. But at the moment, that gap... Oh, we've just seen a lock up ahead. That was for one of the lap drivers, though. But at the moment, the gap to the leader now...
Oh, Michał
1.7.
Szydlecki spins as he attempted a cut back on Danny Tatui for 12th place. So unfortunately, Danny Tatui will keep the 12th place for the time being.
So there you go. That will at least bring a point to the Cyanide team. But now Anno on the medium tyres is not too far away either. 1.7 seconds. I don't know if he'll quite have enough time to catch. But like, you know, people will believe what they want to believe. And I do believe there is 2 laps.
Oh, Ika has a spin. Ika spins, and that's going to promote Scott back to 4th place and secure 3rd place for Johan Karolczak as it currently stands.
That is going to hurt for the Plus Ultra team. Oran Gramage doing the best job he can, just keeping it in 8th position, and then his teammate goes and makes a mistake. That's not going to help their Constructors' Championship at all. Victor Bernat still cashing at a rate of knots, you know, and I think this is the last lap, so Victor Bernat now must do all or nothing and has got to find 1.3 seconds from somewhere. But it's surely not enough. It's going to be close, but I don't think he's got it.
It's going to be close indeed, but Fabian just needs to keep her head clean, no mistakes, no nothing. Half of the lap only remains between her and winning the first race for Ledport Racing and bring herself into quite the nice contention when it comes to final point standings.
Absolutely, but I think Fabian, you know, has just done enough. Victor, like Marcus Onstad even, has made a mistake. So, oh my goodness me, and he nearly made contact with Quanti there. So Quanti has now up in 7th position, one of my standout drivers there from the back of the grid. Of course, he started on the mediums. He said that's what he was going to do, and that's what he has done. Now, leader is on final lap, and Fabian, thankfully, sees the checkered flag just in time, wins race 2, and that's her first victory in Ledport Racing, and it comes in the Praga Championship. And you know what? Johan Karolczak will be happy with that. At the very least 3rd, but that means his grasp on the championship lessens more and more as Victor continues to win race 1 and then coming 2nd in race 2 ahead of all of his championship contenders.
Ike Marvek takes on P5 with Scott Silver taking P4. A good drive from the Norwegian again, making his mark. He could be a dark horse if he keeps consistent in scoring points, especially when his rivals like Ike Marvek and Juan Gramage make mistakes.
Oh, I'm just seeing here now, Danny Tatui was pushing that car really hard, but unfortunately just went off the track in the end and didn't even meet the curb there. So he had to cut across and lost time to the car in front, so he'll come home in 12th with Arnstead in 11th. Quanti, though, will take a bow, my guy. You finished in 10th position, going on to the medium, so that benefits you very well. And Scott Sovic as well, great drive from him throughout the round as well. That is 4th position for him.
Indeed, so 17th for the Ruplanas 18th, and the DNS of Tom Harding, Casal and Scharf. And Letelier 1 lap behind in 22nd.
Yes. All right. Well, look, that was more great action coming from the Praga Championship here at Ledport Racing. Some great racing was had. And, yeah, in fact, Fabian just saying in the Discord chat there, oh my lord, and has a jumping Sebastian Vettel there from the Malaysian Grand Prix. I don't know what year that is. Danny Tatui saying, I raced both races with red rear wing, and it was a lot of fun, he said. Johan is fed up with round 2. And Victor saying, if your car is undrivable...
Yeah,
there was blood. So I'm not going to look too much into that because I think I'll just be repeating what's being said. But anyway, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure to be by your side yet again, and you've given us one hell of a race. So thank you all so much.
Indeed, it has been a wonderful having you here commentating. Honestly, you are one of my favorite co-commentators because you just bring that amazing high energy to these races.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad to hear it. Alrighty, well, look, I'll let you take the interviews and I'll sign off with my stream and I'll leave the chat as well. So, yet again, any last words for my chat and any last words as well, just on the
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Go follow David. He deserves all the follows you can give him. And if you want to join us for racing, definitely pop over to our Discord. Sign up. There's still plenty of places. Heck, we could have 60 car grid if we wanted to.
Oh, definitely. Oh, Jesus Christ. Multi-class Praga and Championship. I've just placed your Discord in my chat, just in case if anyone wants to go there. But otherwise, I will sign off. So thank you again to Mateusz for having me. Thank you again to Leopold Racing for hosting the racing. Great job from everybody. And we'll see you next week, which will be the last time for a couple of weeks I will be here.
Indeed, and thank you once again, David, for
No problem at all.
commentating. And it's late in February you're leaving for your vacation.
Yes, so I'll be on vacation from the 5th to the 22nd. We'll be back on the 23rd officially.
Fantastic. Will you be here for next week?
Yes, I will.
Awesome, fantastic. So happy to have you here. We will be in Istanbul Parl, which I know one of our drivers is definitely going to be there, and extremely happy.
Brilliant. All right, I look forward to that one. But anyway, from me to you, Mateusz, bye-bye for now.
All right, take care, David, and farewell. Let's see if anyone wants to do interviews today. Okay, so we got from Mr. Karitsa. So let's see if we can find them in the race. Sacha Karitsa, what a race that has been. Not exactly what you were hoping for. You were doing, I think you were doing quite well in the opening laps until, well, chaos ensued.
Yeah. First race was great. Actually, I believe some drivers have problem with the radars because they should watch more the inside. But yeah, the first race was great. We had double top 10 finishes with the team. And second race was great, but it was like complete chaos, like some drivers said, because everyone was kept pushing everyone. And then the front runners that were obviously faster than the guys in front, like where they were catching up, and they decided to go for wide in the corner. So someone was sent spinning, and it was my teammate, and I couldn't avoid him. So I got terminal damage on suspension.
That's a very, very unfortunate to happen. Then, but you can still take solace that there was still some good racing up and down, and some good points for your team in both rounds.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely good points. Like I didn't train that much. Like I trained, but not as hard as I usually do. So I wasn't I hadn't great hopes for this one, but managed to secure some points is the principle, and yes, with the drummers aside, that was some pretty great racing. But never this track again in this car.
Well, we will definitely see. The track was was quite enjoyable to spectate regardless. Next track is Istanbul Parl, and a much longer track. It's going to provide different kind of racing and much less traffic, especially if we get same amount or even more drivers, because I like the trajectory this series is going, if you ask me.
Yeah, that will be definitely a better race. The the really long straight line would be great to see, but like now I prefer to I don't want to give my opinion on it, because like I was there, like that this track will be perfect for the car, and then the race happened, and it happens to be not perfect for the car at all. So
but regardless of that, it's been wonderful to see you spectate racing. And do you have any final words you would like to say to the chat?
You can have garage on top.
you guys are dominating when it comes to the amount of drivers you have. There's 5 of you in the team now.
5, and like we tried to get another one, but then didn't work. So yeah, because we all come from a small game that we play together. So yeah, that's the logo. There's the logo of the game on the right side the wheel of the car, the front wheel.
Well, definitely. See, you're gonna see if you can complete the Pirelli lineup. But it is now. I have to bid you adieu and bring in the race winner, Fabienne. What a race that has been! Great, consistent race to drive. You had just enough of the fast charging Victor, but I bet he made you sweat.
Uh, yeah, absolutely. I think the last 5 minutes, something like that, I was just looking at the delta and I was giving it everything, but it just would keep going down. Then another mistake in the last lap in the first corner, it was only 1 second. It was so, just nerve-wracking, really.
It definitely was. We were looking at live timings. He just nicking 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 3 tenths lap. But regardless, you had the measure. The start you had was your victory, your key to victory. Just managed to get around first driver, the first couple of drivers, and just pull out a gap while the others behind were battling.
Yeah, that definitely had a lot to do with it, and I think just Victor being a bit less fortunate with some of the traffic and overtaking cars definitely helped. Like, if he got past some cars even half a second earlier, I think he would have had me, or it would have been even closer.
I do have to be honest with you. Victor was lucky in one particular instance where, due to Plus Ultra Team Automobilismo kamikaze attack, he's been promoted. He's been spared from battling from Scott Solvik, which was putting up quite the defense against drivers behind him.
Yeah, I mean, after battling, or well, yeah, almost battling Scott in the previous race, I was kind of hoping like, okay, maybe he can hold him up. He's fast. I know he's fast, but it didn't quite go that way. But I'm glad it went this way anyway. I'm very happy to win my first and probably only race.
Well, never say never. Last time you were hesitant to say that you will win in this championship, and look at you now.
True, definitely true. Time to add like victory marks on the side of the car, like one stripe.
Yeah, well, in terms of victory, next round is Istanbul Park, which will be much different and hopefully less traffic dependent track.
Yeah, it's not a track I've driven a lot, but I'm looking forward to it. PGO was a track I was actually very worried about already, because of its very fast nature, but it worked out, it seemed. Sorry, I'm just so, the last few laps were really getting the adrenaline running.
The adrenaline is still shaking from the laps from it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just every lap, pushing, seeing the delta go down, push more.
Well, you managed to hold on with the pressure, stay consistent, keep your head down, and honestly, big congratulations, because the do it against drivers such as Victor Bernat is quite the achievement you should be proud of.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm just gonna make myself a nice evening, watch Vector What to lift this high for the next 2 hours.
Indeed. Well, do you have any final words towards the jazz? I have quite the queue of drivers now. I think have quite a few opinions on how the races have gone.
I mean, everyone's gonna have their own opinion. I'm sure Victor would disagree that it was as good as of a race as I make it sound right now. But for me, it was a good one. I don't know what the others are going to say.
Well, I will put you back to the massive race that's going on. Again, massive congratulations, and hope to see you in Istanbul Park.
Yep. Thank you very much for having me. Bye bye.
Bye bye. So we should have. I know. That
Oh,
race
hello
that race was an interesting bucket for yourself.
Absolute blood is what it was.
Yeah, from what I've seen, and I think there were quite a few words that have been exchanged between yourself and a few other drivers. We saw a few interesting incidents between yourself and the leading pack on the stream a couple of times as well.
Yeah, I don't remember too well what exactly happened in the first race anymore, to be honest. Second race, no, I did get caught up in a little pile-up that happened just ahead of me. And yeah, definitely there were more incidents in the first race. I just don't remember them well. It's it's very hard to actually. It takes a lot of effort to stay focused on this track, to just take all the right lines, all while following while racing. It gets pretty intense around here.
Yeah, it seems to be, and it seems the heat of the surrounding area has gone to quite a few drivers post-race.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, next round is Istanbul Park, a more conventional and track rooted in reality. So, do you have any opinions? Well, and much longer track, so traffic should be less of
Yeah,
a problem.
I have never driven Istanbul Park, so it would be a new track for me, and I have no idea if I'm gonna. I know pretty much nothing about that one, so we'll see how it goes.
Indeed. And do you have much hopes for the Istanbul Park being a more conventional and much longer track that you could bring battle to the midfield and battle for more points and hopefully
Well,
avoid a few of the incidents that have befall you
Yeah.
in today's race?
Well, I mean, there's gonna be more than 2 breaking points, so that already makes it a much more normal racetrack. And yeah, at least I'm hoping to at least get points both race. Because here, second race I was quite close to getting points, but just locked up at the last lap, and that was that.
Indeed, there has been quite a so close yet so far moment, but we will see what you can do in the next round. So, Arno, do you have any final words to the stream before I put you into the gaggle that has arranged itself in the race chat?
Just yeah, no, I'm done. I'm gonna fall asleep here, I think.
Fair enough, Arno. Well, enjoy the rest of your
Yeah.
evening, and we will see you happily in Istanbul Park. So, let's bring back my team member, from Let's Pro Racing, Quanti. You managed to get points in race 2, but race 1 just didn't go exactly as you hoped. Quanti! I think Quanti is away for a moment or having mic problems. So, in the meantime, we shall bring the chasing driver, who I was so sure the championship would flip on its head in this race, but for somewhere, your main championship rival just found that pace that he was missing on the practice service.
Yeah, and not really in a good place for that, to be fair. I'm a bit, well, I mean, the first race, I have nothing to say about it. I made a mistake, lost a position, but I think it was, you've seen how many laps we all four of us put. You saw them as a very tiny difference in terms of lap times. So it was somewhat what was expected on a track where overtaking is complicated. So I don't think the result of race 1 and the margins we had are surprising. I'm surprised Victor was in pole, but I guess he worked hard to get it, and given how thin the margins were, I think just finding just a slight breakthrough is what enables someone to gain half a tenth and be in front. Race 2, yeah, I wasn't fond of the racing in race 2. I'm maybe that's me or something else, but I'm getting a bit tired of the infernal warfare that is the start of a reverse grid race like this, especially given with this car I'm less comfortable on the rear end with this car than the previous cars we had there. So I tried to be extra careful on the first lap, but I think I kept being bumped and hit and being the victim of an opportunistic 3-wide or stuff like this. And yeah, I think I had to work on that, or maybe I have to have the same mindset. But I don't know. not the best experience of all.
It could
So
also,
it's a bit bittersweet given Victor is got the better result in both races.
it could have been much worse. It could have been much better. There could also be many different changes to standings, considering real penalty has flagged up many incidents of track cuts. So it could be a race result that could be determined by real penalty and the how nice people stay within track lines.
Yeah, I think I'm all clear on that matter, because I didn't go over the limit by race penalty, and I think it's quite tight on this track. I think it directly flags you once you're out of curb, so I think it's somewhat accurate. And in both races, I had one out that was just simply a mistake or a crash or something like this. You know, like the middle of sector 2 braking point. I went wide there, touched it, came back on the track 2 seconds later, but got a cut. So I think I didn't even overcome the limit, but even being within the limits, there's some that will be removed. So I don't think my position will change. Victor, until then, has avoided that. I think he is going to do the same today because he had a lot of clean air, so he'll be fine. I'm wondering about the Spanish Inquisition boys, but they haven't had the best of race today.
No, they haven't. We had quite the incident that has been caused by Juan Gramage, and for all intents and purposes, you have managed to avoid the worst of the repercussions when it came to that incident between Juan and I believe it was Scott Solvik.
I think so. Scott, what did happen? Yeah, they had. I don't remember what happened. Scott, Ike spun, so Scott went in front of him.
So
and they had a lot of contact with Danny as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact. So it was, I believe, Danny was caught up in that incident while Juan spun after his dive and lock up onto Scott Solvik, which Victor came the best out of it, being just promoted to 3 positions, robbing us of what could have been a great spectacle, and I think would have put you right in contention with Victor once again, considering Scott has been defending quite well against Juan.
I wasn't a big fan of the layout itself, but I mean, that's what it is. I already knew it when I sang for it, but I'm hoping for a different kind of racing on the next track.
The next track is
this one was really a game of such thin margins that it wasn't enjoyable to chase a lot of times. But in the end, racing on it, well, it's once you fall out, yes, there's no coming back, and that was a bit frustrating.
Well, and the next track is twice the length and more rooted in reality. Istanbul Park. You looking forward to that? You know, somebody will be very happy to see that track.
I know he's going to be very excited for it. Hoping he won't get too excited on track, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I think we all be all 4 of us at the same position. I think we understand the car now. I think we understand what can be set on it. There's no magic setting to be found, so I think we'll be all 4 of us at the same positions.
So we're very
don't know which, but the same 4 first positions.
Indeed, it'll be very interesting to see you guys battle. But for now, I will have to bid you adieu and send you back to the racetrack. Anything you would like to say, Johan, to the your adoring fan base in the chat?
I'll say that thank you for once again. Thank you for the streaming. Thank you for the server negotiation itself. But a small message to the drivers: I won't be that nice or easy in the following races.
This is where Johan awakens his innate potential.
Potential, maybe not potential, but
He's
you know,
in
like
Max Verstappen.
the spikes on the wheels, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Go gadget
I'm fed up of
spikes.
being overtaken so easy.
Indeed. So this will be very interesting to see, as long as you've managed to keep it clean and hard but fair racing. We
Yeah.
are looking forward to it. So we will see again. Thank you again, Johanna, for driving. Best of luck
Sure.
in the next round, and we hope you can take the fight for the title to Victor in the next round.
Thank you.
Well, we will bring Quanti back. Quanti got points in race 2, race 1 and qualifying just did not go the way you probably would have hoped.
Yeah, it was not my favorite round. Honestly, round 1, that was amazing. Round 2, I was feeling a bit down after this round. I just feel completely demotivated after that. It was, race 2, I'm proud of the places I gained, but race 1, qualifying, it was not my proudest moment, not my proudest drive.
There's definitely been quite the few words that have been spoken between drivers. How was the racing against drivers out today?
All the drivers were doing good. Every driver was honestly doing far better than I was. I was inconsistent. I was off my line. Whenever I got close to somebody, I unfortunately made contact quite a few times because I do not really know where my mind was. I was just not really focused on the car or even the racing itself. Mine was in some other places, and I really think I could have done better in traffic today. All the other drivers, they did an incredible job, though.
Well, I was definitely happy to see points regardless, though. Managed to bring quite a few places up. So it was just a drive of climbing up the points, race 1, race 2 from the qualifying. Though, speaking of the track, how was the track out there? I know a few drivers have very mixed opinions about racing at the national layout with these cars.
Again, I like shorter tracks, and the high-speed and flowy sections are so much fun when you hit them right. But they're super easy to mess up as well, and there's so many different ways that you can take them, but there's only one, optimal way. And it's really hard to find that. I've been trying to find that all week, have not been able to. I was way off pace in qualifying, and especially in the races. I would be almost like 5/10 off the cars around me on race pace. And I like the track. I'm just not good at it, and obviously I'm having issues with locking up brakes. I don't know if that was because of stress, but it was. Like, brakes definitely do not have any time to warm back up before the 2 major braking zones. That's like my only critique of the track. Other than that, it's actually really good.
Well, the next track will be twice the length and many more braking zone with a different flow. Still a rather fast nature of some corners with more technical section. It's the Istanbul Park in Turkey.
I've heard good things about that track. I have just never even seen a track map of it, but I've heard it's really good. So I'm excited for next round, learning that whole new track. I just think that staying in the points until I'm actually really looking forward to Albert Park. I think that's a round that I'll be able to do really good at. So until then, I'm just gonna try and make sure I get points every round. I think that's a good goal to set for myself.
Yeah, Albert Park
the-
is quite the way away. We still got Bahrain, Autopolis and Mandalika between now and Albert Park and the American part of the tour.
Well, always fun talking to you guys. I think I'm gonna, get some sleep. I did not have the best night's sleep last night. So thank you guys for hosting this. As always, you guys did a great job commentating. So I will see you guys later.
See you later. Have a good night, and we will be bringing Habibo, the new driver, into the fold. Habibo, that was a race. Certainly an interesting race. How was it out there for you today?
Yeah, so I mean, for my first ever race here at LPR, I must say it was chaotic. Yeah, unfortunately, disconnect on the first race really took away any chances for me to have a good result, but I still decided to reconnect because I needed to learn the track and the car. And I must say, yeah, it's an okay track. I'm not the biggest fan of, like having big fields on that. Maybe it is a bit too short in my opinion, especially considering how much carnage there was, I think that just showed it.
Yeah,
And yeah, the car itself was interesting since braking, no ABS, makes it hard, especially going into the left-hander after the downhill section. Was not the biggest fan of it, didn't really get it right. So yeah, I mean, but I learned a lot at least. And then on race 2, I dropped the start.
Oh, so that's what happened to you. So you were probably demoted back into the pits, or promoted into the pits.
No, you get a drive-through penalty if you drop the start.
Oh, well, that's good to see that we have that set up. So, so the race to way more potential had it not been for that drive-through penalty. However, next track is a little bit more conventional, much longer. Istanbul Park. So, have much experience, like it, love it.
I'm looking forward to it. That's all I gotta say. I mean, who doesn't love Istanbul Park?
Me. Awkward track in my opinion. And I don't know, it's an unpopular opinion. There are many people that love that track.
You consider yourself a motorsport fan.
I
I mean,
do.
I'm such a big motorsport fan and sim racing fan that I'm doing this race, and then in a few minutes I have to go over there and finish off 12 hours race at Imola with a triple stint.
Nice. Well, you have quite the day ahead of you. So, how much of how much on interview can you spare?
A couple of minutes is okay. So 2 or 3 minutes, and then I gotta go prepare with the team, go to the toilet, prepare mentally. So yeah, I mean, this could also be the reason why I struggled a bit there, because from driving GT3 cars on ACC to Praga cars on AC is a completely different thing, completely different physics. But I quickly got used to it. I had quite a few nice battles here and there. So I'm definitely looking forward to next week, since it's a bit quieter Saturday. I mean, it's something I think I will never have again. And yeah, I also need to figure out why this game doesn't run smoothly for me, especially when I'm streaming it. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do. And yeah, just a quick question to you. Did you see my livery?
I did.
Correct.
We did see your livery. We did stream it out on track, and
Yeah.
Dave said that is an amazing livery, and was surprised to hear that it was your first livery.
I got a lot of help with that. Ask a few people, they taught me a lot of different things, how to work with Photoshop, and especially with like making the sponsor logos visible even when it's driving past you, with like the color contrasts and the placements. And I must say it was very nice. So I'm thinking about making a livery for the Ginetta GT4 and ACC. As they are also driving a championship there on the Tuesdays. But yeah, it's definitely a cool thing, and I will do more. And for the championship here itself, I mean, could have gone better my first ever race, but yeah, it's okay. It can happen. I learned a lot. I'm mentally more prepared for next week, and especially gaining, scoring a few points. Would be nice.
Now that you have a livery done, you can spend more time practicing rather than livery making.
Yes, I mean, I can do it quicker, more efficient. So maybe I could do both at the same time. But yeah, that was definitely an experience, this Praga Cup car. I mean, I didn't drove it for a long time. I think last time I drove it was in 2021.
That's a while ago now.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for setting up such a cool event. But please do me a favor and drop this PGO race, or at least take the other layout, because I mean, this was just horrible.
We will definitely take all the feedback from the drivers into consideration for future events. However, that is for future events. We still don't know what we're going to be racing next season. We have a few ideas. But anyway, thank you, Habiba, for racing. I certainly hope to see you in Istanbul, and hope to see you up in those points. Maybe, who knows, maybe a podium here and there.
I mean, I don't know about my pace, to be honest. I was able to get into the 1 minute flat, high 1 minute flat lap times towards the end. And there's definitely one thing that I've noticed that was a bit funny, and that was in qualifying, I wasn't really able to drive with the soft tires, but once the race started, I got on the medium tires. It felt much more comfortable and much more stable, and I was able to push a bit more. Could be the tires, could be me, for the fact that I've never driven the track before, so I don't know. But I must say it was a cool experience, and I definitely will be back for Istanbul and try and get a few good results. Because this Toblerone looks very tasty.
Very tasty indeed.
must
Well, we may have quite a few more announcements here and there about future
Ooh.
things, but we still
Yeah.
have to talk it over. No promises. But for the time being, I will bid you adieu, Habibo. Thank you again for joining us, and hope to see you in Istanbul in the points.
Yeah, I will be there definitely. Yeah, now I'm off to ACC for pain.
Well, enjoy your pain, and we will bring our favorite Romanian driver, Dani Tutsui, Cyanide Racing. Race 1, well, won more or less, but race 2, that was quite the mess you have found yourself through no fault of your own, really.
You're trying to find, something positive, and you're like, race 1, oh well, yeah, it was alright, and then race 2, yeah, that was actually worse than race 1.
Race 2, you were just involved in an incident through no fault of your own, and I think just completely ruined your chances of doing well in the race 2.
Well, in both races, I mean, in race 1 I had an orange rear wing, and then in race 2 I had a red rear wing. So that was no fun. Definitely lacked a little bit of pace in race 2. I think first couple of laps in race 1 were pretty good. There was like a train from P1 to P6 until we started fighting, and then I overheated, or I think I took a little bit of gravel on my rear tires, and I had a half spin or something like that.
Yeah, you
And then
definitely were able to hold the guys behind you on a fast charging. Though I gotta want to ask, were there team orders between yourself and Victor once he arrived up on the scene?
Yeah, I mean, not team orders, but I was just letting him through to go. He flashed his headlights, and I was like, I know he's faster, so I just let him through into turn 1.
Fair enough, and it was going well until the incident that happened when Juan attempted his overtake on Scott Sovic, and you were just unfortunately tangled up in that incident quite violently from what we saw on the stream.
To be fair, the incident after the first incident when Juan spun and I crashed into him because I couldn't avoid it, that was mostly my fault. Because of muscle memory, I wanted to smash the clutch and then do a quick spin because I saw I had a little bit of breathing space to do so. But I forgot I don't have a clutch anymore, so my car just slowly, rolled forwards, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Because you're driving on new hardware, and it's gonna take some accustoming to the new way of driving with the direct drive now that you have upgraded to, isn't it?
Yeah, I have a CSLDD right now. It didn't take long to get up to pace, but it's a little not funny. It's going to take a little bit more time to get accustomed to the braking, because I feel like the brake pedal is extremely different from the Logitech stuff. I mean, the driving, everything is different, but I think the braking is like the biggest thing that I need to get accustomed with.
Yeah, so there's definitely new ways of accustom. And there were quite a few strong opinions on PGO National. I'm sure you have a few things to say as well in terms of the layout and action out on track.
Yeah, it's a funny one, to be honest. It's fun for hot lapping. I really hate downhill section braking zone. I think it's horrible with the Pragas, but the rest of the track is just extremely fun to hot lap around. Other than that, the race, the racing itself was, not the greatest. But I think especially with the reverse grid, we did have a lot of, side-by-side actions and everything. What I hate the most about this track is that it's very, very short, and there were a lot of back markers who, I don't want to say anything or give out any names, but they definitely did not activate the rear wing, like the rear mirror or whatever.
Well,
Because
next.
they were fighting us, some of them were fighting us, and some of them were giving out way, literally last second, and then one of them even crashed into me. Yeah, that's actually how I got my, my orange wing in race 1, because a back marker went away last second, and he came back on track into my rear wing, so I had to, cut the entire chicane, the last chicane. It was chaos, to say the least, with the back markers.
Well, next track that we're going to be racing on is going to be quite different, twice the length, and with Istanbul Park, which should offer more conventional racing.
Yeah, it should be fun. I have never tried the Pragas in Istanbul. It depends on how, the fast corners are going to feel with the car. If it's going to be like massively understeery, then it's not going to be that fun. But if the aero on these cars are strong enough to keep the car stable through there, I think it could potentially be one of the best races in the calendar.
It definitely could be, and there is quite a lot of the calendar still left, so we will see what happens. Wouldn't be surprised if this was a drop run for many drivers. However, final shoutouts as always. Cyanide Academy is starting Formula Supremes shortly, as voted by the community.
We're Cyanide Racing Central now. We're not
yes.
called
The
Academy
Cyanide,
anymore.
Cyanide Racing Center will be starting Formula Supremes.
Yeah, it's not official yet. We don't have a stable calendar, but we are going to start on the 11th of February, I think. In any case, you can join our Discord server, and you will be notified with all of the info in the calendar as soon as possible.
Which will be great to witness your community grow further with this series. But for now, I will have to bid you adieu, Danny. We have quite the night ahead of us when it comes to I think incidents and everything else.
I can only wish you good luck.
Well-
I also have a couple of incidents to report, so
Well, feel like we might have an even longer night than after last race. But thank you again for racing, Danny. It's been a absolute pleasure
thank
with
you for
yourself.
hosting as well.
And I will now bid you back to Brazil. And any final words you'd like to say? Thank you. So that was the final Danny, one of the more unlucky drivers when it came to race 2. But what a race have we had today. 24 drivers. By God, that grid on such a small track. In our defense, we have not completely expected this when we were making the calendar. So the community telling us never to underestimate it. But it's been wonderful to see. Thank you so much to every single driver. We invite anybody who wants to join the Pragas. There's still plenty of spaces for you on the grid. And the drivers that we have are phenomenal drivers. So thank you to every single one of you. Thank you to all the viewers that have tuned in today. Thank you to my admin team. They have been just absolutely wonderful with running this show. And we will see you guys round 4 Istanbul Park, February the 3rd at 1800 UTC every Saturday for more amazing races. Let's see if we can beat the grid with more viewers, more drivers. Let's see if we can get 30 drivers out on the grid. And then maybe we can think about splits, but amazing regardless. So thank you all, and I will see you in the next on the next Saturday.
is